My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Wildfrost.
Alright, what do you got for us, game?
I've already had a look at this, and I've already kind of made my own internal decisions, but we do have And, who applies 6 Overburn in Barrage on a counter of 6. Although I have played the Snow Dwellers. Oh, you're not Snow Dweller, you're a Shade Man, so that actually might throw my decision. The Snow Dweller, then, is Bran Root. With 10 health and 4 damage, applies a Demonize on a counter of 5. And then finally we have Killish, who has 8 health, 5 damage, Frenzy, so they'll attack twice on a counter of 5, and Trash 1. So this could be the opportunity for me to run a build from the very start that intends to recycle a bunch of cards. Because I don't have to include cards to include the trash. I already have it. Repeatable generation of it as well. Only because I've done a successful Overburn build more recently than I've done a successful trash build, am I going to maintain my original plan here. And you, I'm afraid that someone named Sean II probably won't fit, so let's go with something a little bit more fun. Some two named Sean. There we go. The first was someone named Sean, and this is now some two named Sean. Let's go. Sneasel with drawing cards when hit. I could take Lorgazi. And I kind of want to. So I will. There. Take that. We've written directly off the edge of the page there. Alright, let's head to the first battle. We have a Snowbow and a Wild Snoof here. So in 5 turns time, some two named Sean attacks and can kill both of these. However, that will be after the refresh, right? Which occurs in 4 rounds time. Unless I use a Sunsong box on some two named Sean in order to get them to act faster. Okay. Because that's the same turn that Lorgazi attacks as well, and I would really like Lorgazi to be able to take out one of these units, but then that means I do want another unit to have spawned by that point, which is not going to have been possible. I'm gonna use the Sunsong box on some two named Sean. I could upgrade 2 Gear Hammers. Oh, I actually know what I wanted to do. So it wouldn't have been giving the Sunsong box to someone two named Sean, it would have been to Lorgazi, forcing them to have a counter of 2 and some two named Sean to have a counter of 4 right now. And then over the next 2 turns, I throw Gear Hammers at the Wild Snoof on the top line. I kill it right before it acts. Then Lorgazi kills the Snowbow. And then the refresh happens right before some two named Sean actually attacks. In retrospect, I really like that idea. I'm going to stop Snowbow from putting a Demonize on any of my units because that could actually be annoying. And I will Flask the Snoof to prevent this freezing. It's worth my while to throw a single Gear Hammer, get it upgraded. Yeah, the other line would have been so much better. Oh, especially considering the Winter Worm right there. Okay, so that's 2 junk added to that hand right before we cycle. I'm gonna end up using the freeze on Gobbling. It's just right now I don't even keep it around long enough to be able to hit multiple times with multiple things. So some two named Sean is gonna do 14 damage on the top line. 3 turns time. Okay, yeah, I guess I can use Gear Hammers to try and line these up. So some two named Sean kills the Gobbling in 3 turns time, and then strikes the Windworm on the top line, who will have 70 health by that point if I use both Gear Hammers. Lorgazi pops in another 4. No, this still works as long as I cycle into any source of damage, which, yeah, I think had to be guaranteed at that point. So this will now take out the baby Snowbows, some two named Sean takes out the Winterworm, then the Goblin. 3-time kill combo, we also get to hit the Goblin for a second time. And I don't think there is any way I can get more out of this fight. I'm going to give that the opportunity of happening, though. Never mind. It didn't matter. Snow Knight's dead. Some two named Sean has a very sharp sword, although generates junk whilst using it. Gnome Traveler to give me junk in the default deck? Probably not. Charm? I mean, what I really wanted was just items, which unfortunately is exactly what I'm not getting here. Gnome Traveler, I guess, shows me some items, but then I have to choose to pick one if I really want. Frozen Traveler, I could find more of the people that care about things being destroyed, who would then, you know, work with this. Skaven. You attack on a counter of 3 for 5 damage and trash 1. I want to try and lean all in on this trash build and see if I can actually get anything worthwhile out of it all. When a card is destroyed, gain +1 damage, says Krego. One of the only problems is that I don't, I think almost the only thing I don't need is more damage. Like, health would be great. I guess I'm looking for junk in the future to help me with the whole health situation a bit better. Krego also attacks on a 5. I'm gonna do it, but if I wasn't very much leaning to try and have a different build than I've ever had before, I think I would have taken either Snuffle or Bonbon there. Both very, very upstanding units, as we've seen many times before. Oh, Uber Bear. When hit, you apply 2 snow to the attacker, so I need to find a way to try and mitigate that quite quickly. Or I guess I can just kill you. That's one way through it. So if I put Skaven on the top line, they've got a counter of 3, so in 3 turns time they attack the Uber Bear. They would be attacking for 6 damage, courtesy of the fact that they have the extra damage from Lorgazi. So they would kill Uber Bear in 3 turns time. Unfortunately, Lorgazi doesn't... Ooh, I could get Lorgazi to attack, actually, using the Sunsong box on Lorgazi in 3 turns time to match Skaven. So that'd set you down to a turn timer of 2, and then the round after I would only have a single gear hammer to use. Yeah, no, I can't get this that way, at least. Sunsong box on some 2 named Sean, so that I can set up for the ability to just kill both of you on a 4 here. It's fine. I'm not thrilled about it. It does freeze some 2 named Sean. It doesn't get Skaven out, but it does otherwise work. What's another possibility? Another possibility might be putting Skaven on the bottom line to attack the Snow Gobbler. Unfortunately, some 2 named Sean... Actually, I could guarantee the draw into the Flask of Ink. So that would be Skaven on the bottom line. Round 2, or 2 rounds from the Uber Bear attacking. I cycle 1 round from the Uber Bear attacking. I freeze the... I freeze, rather. I Flask of Ink the Uber Bear to prevent the Demonize, as well as the Smackback effect. Oh god, that's a really inefficient way to try and get these kills, I think. If I want to get frozen to heck and back... Oh, I could just take 4 damage to someone named Sean. That's one way of doing this. So that would be cycling right now, getting the flask, the ink flask that is, putting that on Uber Bear, taking my 4 damage, and then the turn after, some 2 named Sean strikes the Uber Bear first because it'll still be inked, and then strikes the Snow Gobbler on the bottom line, and then Lil Ghazi follows up. Costs me 4 health. It's kind of expensive. I could throw out Skaven now. All of the other units on the board are attacking on a turn timer of 3. Actually, that's probably it. So now I have to decide, do I want to freeze the Uber Bear? And I think so. Try and prevent that 4 damage. So I know Skaven is going to lock themselves against the Uber Bear, and I know that some 2 named Sean is going to murder the Snow Gobbler. I'm just going to throw my own Gear Hammer at the Snow Gobbler first in order to get it upgraded. Got a lot of junk in this hand. Don't really have the turns to just throw it at the Goblin, though. In 5 turns time, some 2 named Sean as well as Skaven attack next. Some 2 named Sean, it's probably not possible to make you fast enough to really attack at a speed that we would appreciate right now. Let's cycle. Let's get Krago out on the field. It does look at the moment like that Goblin just gets to run away. And also, there's almost nothing I can do about that except for cycling into a freeze. I think it's worth it, though. So I'll cycle. We do find the Snowzuka. Unfortunately, it's in the exact wrong position in the hand. So the Frostinger is about to decrease the damage of a unit by 1. That should probably happen to Krago. And I'm going to Snowzook a Goblin for 2 freezing. Ugh. Snow Goblin on the top line just became a bit more annoying. So some 2 named Sean is now threatening to kill the Porcupine, then kill the Goblin, and Lil Ghazi is going to do some damage to the Frostinger on the top line, not enough to kill it. Is there any better way to... Oh! Some 2 named Sean is not attacking this turn. Oops. Skaven, however, will be attacking... Huh. Next turn. How do I best utilize the damage on board? Snow Gobbler is going to be a problem next turn, intending to attack. So with Porcupine trying to deal 2 damage on the bottom line... I mean, look, I could just throw Lil Ghazi down there. So that gives Lil Ghazi the ability to set the Porcupine to 2 health. If I throw a Gear Hammer at the top line, then I have a 6 health unit, a 2 health, and another 6 health. Which gives me the ability to then use another Gear Hammer next turn, taking out the Porcupine. Then some 2 named Sean takes out the Goblin, and then the Frostinger. So it's a triple kill. Unfortunately, it's a triple kill that lets the Snow Gobbler attack again. But I think it's a good triple kill. We target Frostinger first. Hello, Bombo. So I could just block with Krago on the top line. Although I am going to start killing units, so Krago could actually be damage on board. What about a world where Krago is damage on board here? So... if I... let Skaven kill the Frostinger, then I can also kill the Snow Gobbler behind by using a Gear Hammer to set it to only 14 out of the 16 HP that it currently has at the moment. Sum 2, name Sean, then strikes 2 times, kills it. In doing so, 2 units would be removed from the field before Krego strikes, who will then kill the Porcupine on the bottom line. So we still get a triple kill, but now we have a Goblin left on the bottom line. And nothing I can do this turn except for throw a single junk at you. Get 4 more out of you, and then watch you run away. Recycle now. I really need some recycle cards in this deck. I was planning around it, you know, the whole thing I was planning to do. Ideally, I want to kill them both on the same turn. How would I set that up? Next turn for attacks from us is a bust, probably there. Which means it's probably in 4 turns' time I ultimately end up doing this. So I can throw out the Flask of Ink against Bumbo now. You'll only do 3 damage to our frontliner. And then I respond with 10 to you. Yeah, this is all good. Okay, 1 damage on our top line. And get him. It doesn't seem like Lorgazi needs to go out immediately as much as maybe Krego or Skaven. Skaven because they have a low counter and Krego because they benefit over time. I've got to take the treasure and the Woolly Snail. It also comes with the charm on the bottom line. I just really want to go to the treasure. I need to see recycle options, please. Good lord. These are not recycle options. Tutorian, trigger a random ally, lose a scrap, counter of 4. Ice Dice, apply 1 block to a random enemy or ally. There's also the Plinker here, lose a scrap, counter of 1, attacks every turn, does 2 damage. I love the Plinker. There's nothing wrong with a Plinker. Totem the Gotem. Before an enemy attacks, apply a Demonize to him. I mean, Plinker probably makes the most sense here, just to have a unit that is quite good and capable of doing pretty good things quite consistently, even if I don't intend on compounding upon it that many times. I guess it really depends what sorts of charms and other things we find in the future. Bomb Charm. Apply a bomb. Having something apply a bomb every turn, like a Plinker, is pretty good. Admittedly, it's pretty good. Let's go to the Woolly Snail first. See what's up in here. What about a Slapcrackers with bomb? Bink! Ooh, baby! Apply 3 ink, hits all enemies. Also, apply 1 bomb. Yeah, that seems good. Mini Muncher, destroy a card in your hand. Noomlin. Destroying cards is good, but destroying junk without getting any benefit out of it is not as much. Inkberry Juice, increase health. I mean, it's hard to turn that down. Blaze Tea. Frenzy, increase consume by 1. Counter by 1, rather. I don't really want to give that Frenzy charm to anyone. I definitely need to take the crown, first and foremost. Absolutely needs to be with us at all times. Secondly, I'm taking Bink. You need a Bomb Charm? Probably. I'm taking the Charm Machine, I'm taking the Pinkberry Juice. Battle Charm, plus 2 damage. Honestly, putting that on someone named Sean or Plinker sounds really nice. I could put it on Big. Pinkberry. I almost want to hold the Battle Charm for a little bit here so that I have some time to see if maybe it wants to go on something else in a different fashion, but I don't know if I can afford to hold off. especially if I want to get more money. Bomb charm on Bink. Now, I could also just give that 2 damage. 2 damage to all enemies at the same time. Also, ink to all of them and bomb to all of them as well. It's just I don't know if that's as effective as literally just giving the 2 damage to the Plinker. Letting it attack for 4. Twice as much every round. Without having to use Frenzy, mind. I'm gonna do it. I believe in you, Plinker. You're a good guy. Let's head into the next boss. Bamboozle. Hits all enemies. Snibbo in the back line. Winterworm there too. Let's get Skaven and Crego out. Okay, Skaven. I guess I want to split Bam and Boozle as quickly as possible here. In the Sunsong box, some 2 named Sean. So Snowball on the bottom line is going to aimlessly attack for only 1 damage against some 2 named Sean. Over the next 2 turns, I deal enough damage to split Bamboozle into Bam and Boozle. So that means for the next couple of turns, I'm going to want to put down a Junkhead and play 2 Gear Hammers. Gear Hammer number 1. Oh no, some Tomb James Sean is already doing enough damage for that. Great. Which means I can freeze the Winterworm a bunch here. Lovely. I break Bamboozle in half. Bam hits the top line, Boozle hits the bottom. Okay. Being able to barrage through that back line would be incroyable right now. I mean, we've got Bink. That seems pretty nice. Let's let Crego go to the bottom line, and yeah, I think I'm gonna Bink all these enemies. So Snowbows are attacking for only 1 apiece. Skaven, you could head to that bottom line. Getting a Plinker out there as soon as possible seems a really good idea to me. Lorgazi seems an appropriate accompaniment to a Plinker. So on the bottom line, they're trying to deal another 6 damage. Ooh. Although they are now freezing and they're attacking aimlessly. I had wasted all of my Bink turns, it turns out. This is still what I want to do. I freeze Boozle so that I don't have to worry about them getting multi-attack here. So on the bottom line, currently, Plinker kills Boozle, then some 2 named Sean takes out a Snowbow and another Snowbow, and then Skaven attacks the top line for 7 damage. If I use a Gear Hammer, I can set up for that kill. There is a Gear Hammer in the next hand, so I can already guarantee that. But I can also fish for possibly something better. Bink again? I don't think helps me. Okay, there goes Boozle. Some 2 named Sean takes out Snowbow, and then Skaven takes out the Winterworm on the top line. We get a 4-time kill combo, and I need redraw bell counter down because I'm finding a lot of the time I just have hands with junk in that I can't really do much about.
I really need some recycle cards, please.
You're offering me 2 frozen travelers. As much as I really want some health, I don't think I can take that. I need money before I go to this blight snail. Because I would really like the ability to pick up a crown as well as the lumen goop. Red charm, can consume. Not really certain who to put that on. Fully snail though. There's the slap crackers. Of course, I used both my bomb upgrade as well as my damage upgrade. Slap crackers would have been so good. There's the super snower though. Apply 4 snow and recycle 2. Let's also get a crown. Crown go on the other unit I want to get out on the board. Beautiful. Hey, worked pretty well for me. I finally got a recycle card in the deck. Not the recycle cards I really want to have in the deck, but a recycle card. One, it does count, technically. Ooh. I do want to bink these enemies. But I'm not going to be attacking within 3 turns' time, so it doesn't make sense to yet. Jabjo's on the top line, attacking for 4 to the front line unit by itself. If I set up with 2 gear hammers on some to name Sean's turn, I can take out both of the Jabjots. So effectively, the Pinkberry just saved us against the exact 4 damage that was then dealt by the Jabjots. Gok has smackback, and I don't want you to just kill Lil Ghazi, so I'm gonna have to play the Bink here. If I let some 2 named Sean attack on the bottom line, I would just be able to take out that Gok. How aggressive can I get? Not very. I should probably just take out the Jabjots on the top line then. Let Krego attack the bottom line, as per the use. I could also use a Junkhead to block this. Good way to get a little bit of additional junk. Although, I feel like very soon I'm going to regret even the idea of wanting additional junk. I'd love to get a triple kill this turn in some way. Just don't think that's on the plate. Okay. So Pygmy intends to do 0 damage to the entire bottom line in Barrage, as well as give a Demonize effect. I'd love only Junkhead to be hit by that, but that's not possible. A Super Snower? On the top line? Seems pretty good. I also don't really want Skaven to be attacking the Gok on the top line. I would prefer it to, start working on and taking out the one on the bottom line. So I just have to accept that I will be barraged no matter where I go if that's the case. Or I guess I can just freeze the pygmy. Yeah, I'm gonna freeze the pygmy. It buffs Krego. A lot easier to do than otherwise might have been. Jabjot intends to attack frontline 2 times. You can do 2 damage to Lorgazi, who's then really capable of taking any Demon Eyes. With only 1 health, doubling any amount of damage is gonna kill me anyway. Some 2 named Sean is getting pretty close to being able to take out the Gok and then the pygmy behind it on the top line. On the bottom line, rather. Samsung Box will get them closer. So next turn on the bottom line, I would kill Gok. Pygmy. It really feels underwhelming. Oh, Skaven's also attacking that turn. Okay, that's worth knowing. If I cycled right now, I would also get to Plinker, which is additional damage on lock whenever I need it. Yeah, I'm taking the cycle. We're putting Plinker probably on the top line. Okay. Unfortunately, Gok on the top line is attacking aimlessly as well, so I have to be prepared to possibly lose whoever I leave up there. It could just double attack Krego, for instance. So if I let Plinker and Skaven kill Gok on the top line, some 2 named Sean can try and cut down Gok and the pygmy and the Jabjot on the bottom. Not and the Jabjot, just Gok and pygmy on the bottom line. Doesn't seem that good. So, if, like, Plinker on the bottom line took out Gok, then some 2 named Sean and attacks Gok and the pygmy, or sorry, attacks the pygmy, and then Jabjot. I could use a Gear Hammer that I currently have in hand in order to turn that into lethal. Only problem is Gok on the top line gets that full attack. What about I just let everyone attack on the bottom line? Plinker kills Gok. Skaven kills Pygmy. Some 2 named Sean attacks the Jabjot twice. Yeah, I mean, it's a triple kill. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna use Bink in order to make sure that Gok is not attacking aimlessly, so that I don't have to worry about possibly losing a unit on the top line. Krego's furious, ready to take out the Gok here. Just gonna freeze Muttonhead for a couple of turns because it can. Jabjot's gonna attack for 2 against the front line. Not really gonna do anything to us. I could cycle right now. Yeah, it gets us into junk as well. Some things we can do with that junk. Sure. So 6, 5, 11, 17 currently with Skaven attacking this turn. See, the thing is, I want to get pretty close to killing Muttonhead, but not close enough to kill Muttonhead right now. So I'm going to take Lil Ghazi off the board, decreasing everyone's damage, as well as Lil Ghazi's no longer attacking this turn. So currently now we're set to do 11 damage to the Muttonhead in the front line. I'm going to use 3 damage to the Jabjode in the back. Rego, card destroyed. Yeah, that was the Plinker destroying itself, that's fine. Ooh. I was set up to have... I've got it. I've got it. I know how to do this. I increase the health of the Goblin and I attack it twice this turn, allowing me to go back to trying to do a triple kill later. This also then gives me a Super Snower, which I guess I'm very comfortable just throwing at Muttonhead if I need. Cycle here, getting the Flask of Ink. So realistically now what? I'm waiting for 2 turns time. Skaven kills Muttonhead and then Krego kills the Jabjote. So theoretically, I want to be able to take out the Jabjote. If I use a Gearhammer now, it goes down to 3 health. And then next turn, I would be able to cycle and possibly pull out the kill from another Gearhammer. Otherwise, I'm cycling now looking for 2 Gearhammers. Okay. Gearhammer the Jabjote. Cycle. Hilarious. Yeah, without that Gearhammer, the kill's not gonna work in the way that I wanted it to. Is there a better way around this? I think not, unfortunately. Well, Skaven kills Muttonhead, Krego kills the Jabjote. I don't get the triple kill, taking out another Porcupine. I really feel like my money is kind of harsh this run. Having a tough time with it. Shade Sculptor on the top line as well as a Charm Merchant behind it. Would I dupe Bink? Maybe. Let's go to the treasure first. Why don't you tell me if I would dupe Bink? Ah, I see. Lumen Lantern. Boost a random ally's effects by 1. Boost a random enemy's effects by 2. The effects that I want boosted... I'm fine, actually. I'm fine without those. ICGM triggers multiple times equals to its scrap and destroys itself in order to do its damage constantly. It's fine. Frost Shard. Reduce the target's effects by 1 consume. That's a way to get the Plinker to hang around for a longer period of time. Gachapomper. While active, add barrage to all allies in row. I mean, that would be the ability to get a lot more damage out there very effectively. That'd give me a lot more combo potential. I just don't think I want to Frostbite Shard Plinker again. Like, I could. I don't really want to, though. I'm going to take Gachapomper. I haven't taken and used Gachapomper. Lumen Lantern's also on the list, but you look at the deck that I'm currently running. It doesn't seem like it fits in here. Getting another copy of Plinker, though, when I have Gachapomper, the possibility of them just standing on their own line and every turn barraging for 4, is pretty sick. I can choose a charm at the merchant after that. There's a couple of charms I'd really want, but the couple of charms I really want are also pretty expensive. I'm just wondering if... No! There's so much control over our deck we get by going north here. Take Blinker. I get to do that because I didn't take the Frostbite. Bite box. Oh, bite box. When hit, deal equal damage back to the attacker. Draw 2 on kill. That's pretty good, legitimately. I'm not probably going to use it in this deck at all, but it's pretty cool. Punch Fist, gain smack back. Moose Charm, increase counter by 1 and +3 damage. Or Pomegranate Charm. Gain Barrage, reduce damage by 2. So gain Barrage, reduce damage by 2 is a really good reason to give the plus damage charm that I currently have on Plinker to someone else. Because if I gave that to Krego, for instance, they would just destroy lines quite easily. That said, do I really think that's that good right now? When I have Gachapomper in the deck? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna take the Pomegranate Charm and throw it on someone named Sean. One of the big reasons here is because with the Bink, I'm gonna be throwing Bomb against a bunch of targets, so I want to be hitting many targets multiple times. This could also be a problem in the future, for what it's worth. Let's see if it is. Do I want to get, like, pretty nasty with it and crown Plinker, Gachapomper, and the other Plinker, right? One line is just Gachapomper and 2 Plinkers, and they just constantly bop entire lines down in order to get me money. Realistically, just a bunch of money. I'm gonna try. I want money! Give me money! Cool. Gachapomper, 2 Plinkers on the bottom line, and some 2 named Sean up there. If I bink them right now, then Grumble will die. But if I don't attack on the bottom line, I'm gonna feel like I'm making a pretty big mistake, you see. I'm gonna summon Krego. Okay. So currently, Grumble's intending to do 2 damage to some 2 named Sean on the top. Right on the bottom line. Plink, I can have each of you do 5 damage to Bigfoot if I put a Bink out first. I think I will. Okay, so if I force both of you, I guess, to attack on the bottom line without assistance this turn, another 5 damage to the Woolly Drek. The turn after, I can get the Barrage Machine down here in order to take Grumble out in time, but I also need to take out Bigfoot in time. I guess Grumble's less problematic than Bigfoot, who does significantly more damage. Okay, how would I do 3 damage this turn to Bigfoot on the top line? Can I? No. Short of being able to do that, do I want to try and play differently here? Because, like, even if I had the barrage on the bottom line and let Grumble attack Plinker and then attacked through, and then Plinker just attacks naturally and takes out the Woolly Drek, we still leave the Bigfoot on the top line. We only get a 2 kill. It's like barely even worth doing if it's only a 2 kill. I could take one of my own Plinkers off board. I'm gonna cycle right now. So if I took a Plinker off board and put a Junkhead on the bottom, Grumble would attack that, giving me a second Junk in hand. With that second Junk in hand, I could use the Super Snower. It would also destroy 2 Junk from hand, giving Crego 2 damage. Unfortunately, that's not enough damage to take out the Bigfoot. Some 2 named Sean attacks next turn. If they have the barrage on their line, then they actually probably don't split their attacks because there will be a reinforcement at the end round here. The ability to freeze the Woolly Drek does seem appealing. Yeah, I've got to put the Junkhead down. I've also got to take a Plinker off board. That Plinker's not going to heal, but it will kill at a different time, which is important. Okay, so here we have a situation where someone named Sean is going to kill Bigfoot on the top line. Then... oh, I guess Woolly Drek attacks first, so I have to freeze Woolly Drek first if I want to do any of this. If I freeze Woolly Drek, it goes down to 4 health. I've destroyed 2 cards from hand. I could let the Plinker theoretically try and attack on the top line. Oh, actually, if I'm freezing the Woolly Drek, I don't have to worry about those. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. So someone named Sean on the top line attacks everyone, kills Bigfoot, attacks everyone again. We get a second trash in hand. After the Woolly Drek has done nothing, but is down to only 4 health, some 2 named Sean has destroyed a unit, giving 1 damage to Crego. Another 2 damage goes to Crego because of the 2 Junk I've killed in hand. Sick. I could actually take the Plinker off the board and still try and do this, but I don't think there's any reason to do that. Super Snow the Woolly Drek. Sick. Skaven definitely seems like a great unit to summon here. Block something with. Block only 2 damage even. As much as I would like to play the Pinkberry Juice, I do need to cycle as quickly as possible. There's Little Gauzy. Pop him out on the field. I'm not thrilled about this top line. I kind of want to freeze one of the Bigfoots. Or maybe make them aimless. Sorry, remove their aimless so they attack forward into the Junkhead. I don't want Skaven to die, but I guess I'd theoretically be okay if Gachapomper did. Come on, Junkhead. Oh! Incredible. Perfect RNG. Why did Paw have to get summoned immediately after I'd thrown away my my ability to remove it? I'm gonna pop some additional health on some two named Sean. Just because I suspect I am going to have to barrage through the Paw unit on the top line soon. Cycle, I'm looking for Bink. Which I find. Great. So currently Crego is capable of taking out Grumble on the bottom. I would like Crego to attack late if possible. Some two named Sean, you are currently taking out Bigfoot, Paw. That's 3 damage up. Yeah, so I'm taking 4 units off the field pretty much no matter what here anyway. And then Lord Ghazi is just helping do some extra damage to the Bigfoot in the back line. I bink the enemies. Oh, right, because it was barrage on both of them. I had a plan here, obviously. There was barrage on both of them. I do manage to get all of the units off the field. Great! I should also try and keep Big Glue on the field as long as possible here, so I'm gonna Super Snow you. Throwing 2 cards from my own hand there. Then I'm going to Sunsong Box some two named Sean, make them a wee bit faster to deal with the upcoming lines. Big Glue, you are currently intending to do 5 damage, I see. Oh, neat. Five damage, and that's in Barrage. So I can put Crego on the top line. I could take... I can put Skaven on the bottom line. That's completely fine. I can put Lord Ghazi back in hand and then play out the Plinker instead. Crego is not going to have time to attack. The next person to attack is just going to be some two named Sean. And if some two named Sean is definitely the next person to attack, then Crego doesn't need to be on the field. And if Crego doesn't need to be off the on the field, I just throw them back into the deck. Skaven's currently taking the hit on the bottom line effectively for us. I could have Plinker do that instead. Guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. I'm going to throw a Gear Hammer against Grumble. Right? So... Grumble intends to attack on the bottom line. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'd put Plinker out in front of Ghazi. Some two named Sean attacks Gobbling twice. Right? Wait a second. The problem is basically Plinker. Lorgazi can attack for 4 on the top line. And then some two named Sean kills both of the units on the bottom line, and then the Plinker can finish off the top line. That's the way we do it. And we also get 2 hits on the Goblin. Neat. I really want more recycle. Please. Game. I mean, look, if you're gonna give me as much money as possible right before the shop, I'm gonna take it. Thank you muchly. Police Nail. Clockwork Bomb. Ooh, GG's Cookie Box is also pretty good. I'm gonna take the Broken Vase first. Clockwork Bomb. Apply 2 bomb and do 2 damage. It's also critical. Doubles its effects. Its effects only counts the bomb, doesn't count the damage. Definitely crowning a take here. Let's put that on Lorgazi for the moment. GG's Cookie Box. Add 2 scrap. Increase damage by 2. Trash 2 consumes. So it adds even more junk to our hand, but it does give us a Plinker that is quite potent continually. Consistently, I think is the word I was otherwise looking for there. Our first charm is Frog Charm. Sure. Possibly put that on some two named Sean, who occasionally actually does attack on their own line. So having Fury 3 seems reasonable for them. I could take the Charm Machine and the GG's Cookie Box. That honestly seems probably the most power we can get here. Charm Machine is Greed. Love a good Greed machine like that. I'll take GG's. Greed probably ought just go on one of the Plinkers, I think. By the time some two named Sean needs to control the fight by themselves, hopefully Krego is already dealing all of our damage. But I guess I can't already, cycle units late. At least easily. No, I'm still giving Greed to a Plinker. And now I need to make as much money as possible so that that's worth a dang. Oh! How much money can I really make in this fight? Okay, if I reorganize like this and use a flask of ink on the spike wall, I can start working down all the targets at the same time, rather than having to let them smack back. Don't super want to be weakened on the top line if I can avoid it. Getting Skaven out there might be a good idea. Have another unit available. I can take out 2 units at the same time? Gachapomper and the Plinks on the top there. Takes out Grink. I would have to use Gearhammer against the spike wall. I would also have to throw Lorgazi and Skaven back into the deck because they are otherwise going to die. I'm weirdly not actually concerned about having to do that at all. Let's cycle. Some two named Sean now has their Fury activated there on the bottom line. Let's pop a Krego out on the field, who's going to get buffed by the Plinker that takes itself out, hitting Krunker right now. Some two named Sean is currently threatening to do damage, approximately damage to the enemies. With Bink, I could take out 2 units this round. I mean, I'm not super impressed by it, but... Oh, I took out 1 unit instead, right. Without Lil Ghazi, I don't do enough damage to take out Porcupine, even despite Bink. Grink is currently intending to attack the top line, that's fine. Here, in this situation, the Grink and the Porcupine both die to Krunker's attack. So as long as I also take out the Sponcher, such as with the Gear Hammer right now, I should get a triple kill. No, because Krunker was silenced, so of course they're not using their backline. They're not targeting all of those positions. Alas. Cycle? Way too late to get Gigi's cookie box right now, unfortunately. Just pop the Skaven there on top line, I guess, to take these hits. Give some extra health to Skaven. Why don't you survive? The only thing that was important to me going to this fight was money. And barely $1. Alas. I'm gonna Gear Hammer the Ice Forge, getting ready to probably Gear Hammer it again next turn, in order to be able to actually attack again. Okay, I'm not going to cycle into a new deck, so I can cycle now. See what I get before I make any decisions. I'm feeling like if I could take 4 damage safely here on the bottom line, I'd be in a really good position. And what, just take that against Skaven? Let the Gachapomper die? On Krunker's turn, they're going to do some damage to the Spike Wall, which will then even strike them back. They'll kill the Ice Forge afterwards, so they'll lower the damage. And then someone named Sean will have the ability to attack again. And I'll even take out the Grink if I use a Gear Hammer against them. Let's go. Heck, and I'll take out Krunker as well. I didn't count up that high, but I'm glad it worked out. I still really need more recycle cards. I'm going to the treasure. I just need to be able to destroy all this junk in hand, otherwise... Bombarder, trigger against anything that's been hit with bomb. I mean, it's nice. I could line up Bombarder and Bink, and I'd be able to silence all of the enemies and give them all, I guess, 2 bomb if I use the Sunsong box. And then if I had Gachapomper, maybe that's actually really good. So the opening hand then would be Crown on Bink, Lumen, and the Bombarder. And then when we get into the fight, I Lumen the Bink, so it's 6 ink as well as 2 bomb. I put down the Bombarder. I play the Bink. Gachapomper also has to have a crown. So wait, Bink, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 crowns? I have 4 crowns, cool. Lil Ghazi would also be really helpful just for an additional damage. But because Gachapomper gives barrage to all allies in the row, Bombarder will have barrage. It triggers against anything that is hit with bomb, but it has barrage, so it attacks everything in the line, I believe. Is it time to see if that's how that will work? Yeah. Better sooner rather than later. Would hate to get an unfortunate surprise. Gachapomper keeps it. Bink. Lumen, Bink, Bombarder, Gachapomper. Cool. If you all had thorns, I was gonna lose my mind. Some two named Sean. Gachapomper. Bombardel. In the final fight, that will be pretty formidable. I'm gonna quickly Flask of Ink Clinker to keep it around as long as I can. Okay, so the Plinker on the top line is about to kill the crab, and then the Gachapomper on the bottom line will kill both the bursters, because it's got a charge of greed. Well Gachapomped. I definitely want to use GGs as well. On the Plinker on the top. Okay. Let's cycle through this hand quickly. So on the top line, someone named Sean kills the crawler as well as removes a shield from the burster. It's difficult to line all of this up well, I think, in any way. So it kills the crawler, takes both of the shields off of the burster, and then the Plinkers on the bottom line, assumedly, just hit a bunch of times. Really depends on where the crawler's extra defense goes. I'm going to throw a Gear Hammer at the Burster for the possibility of being able to take out a second unit this turn. Nope. Huh? Okay, so the oil effect overrode the barrage from the Plinker. Got it. Even though Gachapomper was moved next to it afterwards. Okay. That makes sense. I'll file that away for later. I mean, both of you are about to attack the same unit in a way that doesn't really need to be done. So I'm gonna Gear Hammer the Burster on the top line. And watch 2 units die. Hello, Numbskull. So with Greed, you're doing 3 more damage, Plinker. Still not enough to kill the single unit by itself on the bottom line. I'm not going to be multi-killing units in this fight. That's just not really going to happen. So I should probably just be more realistic and either cycle for things I need or play cards that might help. Cycle. Okay, there's a barrage on the top line. Now if I use a single junk on the bottom line, I can kill 2 units this turn. Which is pretty good. Now if I bink this enemy, the Bombarder just attacks it once. I don't really do too much to it at all, unfortunately. Ah, I know the play. I'm gonna Sunsong box some 2 named Sean, allowing them to attack twice this turn. In doing so, they generate 2 junk in my hand, giving me the ability to Super Snow. Super Snow also destroys 2 cards for us there. Handy. Then I'm going to Bink. And a Snowzuka will help remove another charge from you. I don't need to keep you inked up. I can eventually use Junkhead to defend myself here if it's desperately necessary. Can even use Junk to try and break through the armor there. And indeed, seems like a great idea. One more cycle to find anything a bit more active here for the kill. Yeah, that'll work. I bink him! Get him, little Ghazi. It's your turn to shine. Without being able to, like, cycle my units, the final fight could be weird, but I can also just bink the guy who prevents me from being able to cycle my units. I'm going to Woolly Snail on the bottom line. The ability to get another crown seems great to me. Destroy a card in your hand, adds damage to a random ally. Yeah, not really our kind of thing. Take the crown. I probably want to put it on Lolgazi right now. Give some additional damage to the bomber. I definitely want to go for a charm as well. So let's. Foggy Brew is also pretty good. Snowball Charm. The Wildfrost! Oh, sick! Oh, the Bink is gonna freeze them all as well! Yeah, get him, Bink! That's really gonna buy us some good time to set up. I'm quite happy about that. I'm gonna get a Foggy Brew because it's also just a good way of trying to invalidate some of the units in the end there. Head to the Chancellor. I almost never have Sunsong Box and Junk together in my opening hand, to the degree that maybe it's worth removing one of the Junks as well as the Gear Hammer. Alright. I don't think the final fight should be the Bombarder version. I think this is only really good when there's so many units out on board. I need to get a lot of money in this fight to justify ourselves. None of you are immediately doing damage back to me when you're hit. When hit, give 2 shell to all allies, not just the allies directly in front of us, all allies. Oh. Some two named Sean, top line, Gachapomper, bottom, Plinker, both bottom. Ghazi top, and then Lumen Vase on Ghazi for extra damage on all our units. I'm gonna pop the Bombarder on board, because I feel like next turn I should probably just cycle towards the Bink. Yeah, I shouldn't let Foxy get anywhere near attacking. And I should have ordered those units the different way, right, because the barrage has been lost, and it doesn't come back. Neat. Got it. Just take 3 extra damage on the bottom line. Yeah, I can do that. Berry for some extra health. Time for a spicy cycle. So if I Bink now, immediately, oh, I guess I snow all of the enemies as well, so I buy myself some time. Although I could snow the unit right now and wait for people to be out before I use the Bombarder for a Binking. So that'd be a really good reason to what? Play what in anticipation? GG's Cookie Box or Bink? Okay. Five and AoE. That. 4 on the top line. I don't even want to seriously look too far at what the effects of this are going to be. I'm just going to play Bink. And Bombarder starts hitting all of the lines. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Rawsome on the top is currently threatening to attack. could just be blocked with, I mean, honestly, almost anything. I'm gonna use a single Snowzuka. I'm worried that Krego hasn't been out, and therefore hasn't really been getting stronger at all. I'm gonna take Gachapomper off the field and put Krego out right now. And watch both Plinkers die. Krego will get 2 damage out of that. We also reset Rawsome. Cycling right now when I have a Junkhead in hand. Junkhead seems pretty relevant. I cycle. Oh, we got Junkhead back. Neat. And in fact, we got a Super Snower, rather, that I still have the ability to utilize. Let's put the Junkhead out on the field. I see you, Rockhog. Rockhog.
I can see the hell out of you right now. I know exactly where you are.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you until you're dead. Got it? No, you're mad. I'm going to take Bombarda off of the field now to put Lil Gazi on the top, giving the full 5 damage from the extra 3 Fury to some two named Sean here on the bottom line. I swear I had a setup here that was going to be able to kill the Ice Forge on the bottom line and then remove the top. Oh, yeah, I do. I just use a Gear Hammer on the Ice Forge. I attack once, killing the Ice Forge, and then I attack a second time, taking out both of the top liners. That's a triple kill, although it only gives me credit for the double because the Frost Guardian rather, is the additional person here. I need to cycle towards possibly Gachapomper so that I can get multiple kills from Krego at the same time. I'm going to Sunsong some 2. If I Flask of Ink the Uber Bear, I can reveal Snowzuka for its critical value. Junkhead gets hit twice on the top line. So now a multi-strike on the bottom line does kill Uber Bears, as well as the Grink. But not at a really good speed, unfortunately. The Snowzook Uber Bear to hold off their 4 damage. Cycle. And there's the Gachapomper. Frost Guardian's going to kill Junkhead on the top line, and then Grink is going to attack Lord Gazi. Someone named Sean is unfortunately going to take another 2 damage down, but will then still have the ability to kill Porcupine in the Grink. I think I might be most concerned with additional health for some 2 named Sean. Solid triple. I do want to have Krego attack through on the top line with the Gachapomper next turn. I'm going to have to find a way to block both Grink and the Winterworm before that. That's not easy. I'm gonna let Gachapomper take the full 8, and then the Grink can deal 1 damage to Lorgazi, and then the Winterworm can kill Lorgazi. Yeah, seems like the best way around it right now. I'll put a Skaven out on the field. I lose 2 units there, giving us some extra damage on Krego. I think I'll freeze all the enemies. So it effectively buys me a turn even though it spends a turn there. Cycle. Let's Super Snow Grink. Okay. And then a Super Snow for Frost Guardian. Freezing them out this turn. Some 2 named Sean can now kill 2 units on the top line in the same turn. Frost Guardian still has 90 health because it was inked before. It can deal, 9 damage to some 2 named Sean. I'm going to Foggy Brew the Frost Guardian. Yeah, it tries to attack an ally, but it can't, so it immediately stops attacking for that round. That's really good tech to know about. Got another Bombarder to block a future hit here. Now I've got a second junk in hand for the sake of the Sunsong box. Oh, and some 2 named Sean is also healthy enough to actually survive this attack if I wanted to throw it out right now. Sure. Pop the Bombardier down. And just throw Gear Hammers, I guess. Really not keen on letting the Frost Guardian attack another time here. Like, I know I could have halved its health more if I didn't use the Bink in the way that I used the Bink. But I think I'm currently looking for extra HP as well as the ways to freeze the Frost Guardian. That's 1 freeze, as well as the bomb, which is ever important here. Alright, that'll do. Goodbye, Frost Guardian.
Now, let's see how the final fight is. Because I'm worried it's not going to be good.
One thing I'm worried about is this whole plan I have to do the binking with the lumen and everything like that. It seems like a really, really, really good plan. except for that it doesn't do much damage at all. Like, it hits all of the enemies a bunch of times, that's sure. It just doesn't do damage when it does that, which is a problem. Having Lumen Vase and Bink in the opening hand is kind of non-negotiable for it, though. How much money? 3 extra damage on Plinka right now. So I can do a version that gets a Plinker out that's doing a bunch of damage as well. I think that's probably better. And then ultimately we end up cycling to try and find Lil Ghazi as quickly as we can. So we Lumen Bink, we play a Bombardier, we play a Gachapomper and a Plinker, we play some two named Sean on a different line by themselves. If I ever play a Gearhammer, honestly, I probably don't want it again, but I'll probably have enough junk in my deck that I really do want it instead, so I will keep it. All right, go to the final fight. I'm pretty excited about removing the unmovability of all of our characters. All right, Bink. Yeah, didn't really do that much at all. I had hopes, alas. Moving that Bombardier away to get another Plinker out, just attacking in AoE on that bottom line seems really good to me. It's a lot of power in Barrage, you know? I could cycle right now, trying to get to Lil Ghazi as quickly as possible. Honestly, seems pretty reasonable. I'm gonna pop Lil Ghazi out on the field for the excess damage on Plinka. So Frost Crusher on the bottom line, currently threatening to attack. I'm just gonna Snow Zook here. I'm not gonna let you attack, and in fact, take 2 damage. So this round with 9, 11, 7, 18, we have enough health to kill, or we have enough damage rather, to kill the Frost Crusher on the bottom line by themselves. It's probably beyond time to take the Bombarder off the field, realistically. And then put Krego out. Wait, I'm not killing the Frost Crusher on the bottom line anymore. I do 5, 5. Yeah, I'm leaving it alive. Oh, I really want to do all of that barrage damage on the top line though. If I'm taking Bombardier off soon, I can probably take another card off soon to put the Junkhead out instead. Okay, take Bombardier off. Krego out. Mm-hmm. I could use the Junkhead for a block here. definitely think I've found my way through this quite comfortably, although the Frost Jailer is no longer going to provide removal of unmovability at the end here, so I should make sure that Frost Lancer is off. Is not on the same path, rather. That top line is capable of taking out the Frost Junker. All I have to do is throw a Gear Hammer this turn. Realistically, Gachapomper can be destroyed this turn, that's fine. Because if it's destroyed this turn, and then next turn I just have Junkhead on the top line by themselves... but the unmovability comes in at that point. But I would be able to move the unit at that point. Okay. So, Lil Ghazi, you come down to the bottom line. I'm going to Gear Hammer the Frost Crusher. We're going to be taking it out. Okay. And now, if I use the Junkhead... No, that's not going to work? I thought there was a way where I could put Junkhead here and it would push Krego down. That was kind of actually the whole reason I did that. Well. 50-50. Extremely rude outcome for a 50-50. Let's cycle. I'm going to Lumen Vase the Sunsong box now. And force some to name Sean to take out the Frost Junker on the top line, as well as do some extra damage there. Frost Jailer is the easier one to play around, so I'm going to Snowzook you. And then give the Frost Lancer more aimless fodder to possibly target at with the Bombarder out on the field. I'm also going to get some additional health on that Bombarder, because that's just more effective HP in general. Foggy Brew's also pretty good for the top line, which I'll play. Hits the wrong target. But we're absolutely A-okay. We'll have no problems. Frost Jailer kills the aimless targeter, and then I just throw Gear Hammers at the Frost Jailer until it dies as well. Got a little tense at the end there, sure. But I call that one pretty comfortable. Let's use a junk for the kill. Why not? So the Bombarder combo was significantly less powerful than I thought. Right? I was multiplying things by things, but it was 6 by 6. So 36 damage distributed across the entire enemy field when they have 6 units that are all quite healthy out there. Not that great, as it turns out. However, that is a casual vanquish right there. We can head our way back to town. Warm, safe, and secure in the knowledge that not only have we stopped this Heart of the Storm, we have also already unlocked everything, so we don't have to plan around that in the future necessarily. A little bit of a teaser for the next episode. Ooh, someone who attacks aimlessly on a counter of 5, but they attack 3 times? Woodbar with some bomb application, and then Rodhorn When hit, apply 2 spice to all allies. I know which way I'm leaning. To find out for yourselves, it's the final one. It's obviously the last one, the one with the spice, because that's probably going to be more interesting. I should have kept that as a cliffhanger. My name's Rhapsody, the name of the game's been Wildfrost. Special thanks this episode to someone named Sean. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.